అందరికి శుభోదయం. చూడండి, ఒక చెట్టుకు పడ్డటువంటి పూత అంతా ఆగదు. పూతకు పడ్డటువంటి ఆ పిందెలు అన్నీ నిలువవు. పిందెలైనటువంటివి అన్నీ నిలవకుండా అన్ని కాయలు కావు. అందులో కొన్ని మాత్రమే కాయలు పండ్లవుతాయి. ఆ పండ్లు నలుగురికి ఉపయోగపడతాయి. అదే మాదిరిగా నా సర్వీస్లో కొన్ని వేల మందికి నా యోగా సర్వీసెస్ అందించాను, నా సలహాలు సూచనలు అందించాను. చాలామంది పూతరాళ్ళట్టుగా రాలిపోయారు, కొందరు పిందెల దశలో రాలిపోయారు, కొందరు కాయల దశలో రాలిపోయారు, కొందరు ఫలాలై ఈ సమాజానికి ఉపయోగపడుతున్నారు. సో అందులో వన్ ఆఫ్ ద మై స్టూడెంట్స్, ఐ ప్రౌడ్ టు సే, చాణక్య సింహ గారు. సో బెంగళూరు యోగా యూనివర్సిటీలో 3 సంవత్సరాలు బిఎస్సీ ఇన్ యోగా రెగ్యులర్ అండ్ ఎంఎస్సీ ఇన్ యోగా రెగ్యులర్ 5 years. ఫస్ట్ వీరి నాన్నను నేను SVYASA యోగా యూనివర్సిటీకి తీసుకెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఏదేదో మాట్లాడారు. నేను అప్పుడు అనుకున్నాను, అయ్యో నా సమయం అంతా వేస్ట్ అయిందని అనుకున్నాను. అని మళ్ళీ తిరిగి వెళ్ళి 5 years రెగ్యులర్గా కోర్స్ చేసి అపారమైనటువంటి జ్ఞానాన్ని సంపాదించి వారికి బంగారు భవిష్యత్తు ఉంది. ప్రజెంట్ హైదరాబాద్లో వారు జాబ్ చేస్తున్నారు. భవిష్యత్తులో వారు వారి సర్వీసెస్ త్రూ అవుట్ వరల్డ్లో అందాలని మనం అందరం ఆశిద్దాం. భగవంతుని ప్రార్థిస్తూ సో వారిని ఈ క్లాసు కొనసాగించవలసిందిగా కోరుతున్నాను.
Namaskar everyone. Good morning. So Guruji has told about me already. So I have done bachelor's and master's and I have gained a few good knowledge and all that is in the guidance of Srinivas Reddy sir from my 10th standard since 2002. Everyone. Before starting the session, we'll start with 3 rounds of Om chanting all together. Join your palms together. Namaskar Mudra. Place your palms in front of your heart. Go for a deep breath. Inhale deeply. Breathe in. One more round. Inhale. Observe the vibrations of beautiful pranayama, the Omkara in your body. So I hope everyone are doing well in YSC course, Yoga Instructor course. I wish you everyone all the best. So let me share the screen. Today's topic we will be discussing on Shat Karma or Shat Kriyas.
So in Kapalbhati,
नौकरी व्यापार में जो समय बचता है वो जाता भाग दौड़ में। अपने तन मन को कब देंगे हम समय, तो आओ अपनाएं योगा 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 योगा। अपनाए योगा, सुबह को नहीं तो शाम को होगा, शाम को नहीं तो सुबह को होगा। योगा 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 योगा, आओ मेरे दोस्तों हम अपनाए योगा।
So we have already into yoga and we are learning asanas, we are learning pranayama, we are learning meditational techniques, all kind of these things, which also keeps our body very healthy, rejuvenating, and calm and peace. Then why do we need Shat Karma and Shat Kriya? First question it comes, why? So by doing asanas, we are cleansing our body externally, strengthening it, making it flexible, maintaining stability. We are doing pranayama to gain good control or to regulate our breathing. And we are going to the state of meditation to maintain the serenity of mind, to balance the mind. Then what else do we need? So why Shat Karma? Shat Karma is a procedure or a set of practices which also cleanses our body through inside. So generally, we have three humors in our body. We have three things. Our body is made up of three things also, we can say. According to yoga and Ayurveda, they are called as tridoshas: kapha, vata, and pitta. These are the three things where body is made up of. So kapha is a quality of mucus, pitta is a quality of bile, vata is a quality of air. Then the yoga and Ayurveda scripture says that any imbalance, either too much of kapha, for example, or less level of pitta, will causes disturbances in the body in the form of too much of heat, excessive heat, or not even to maintain minimum temperature in the body. These kind of things will happen when there is no balance of these three doshas. These three are called as three doshas. So even before doing pranayama, we should remove any kind of imbalances out of our body, like mucus blocking the respiratory tract, or gas in the GIT, gastrointestinal tract, or food pipe from stomach to your mouth. Any kind of these things, to avoid the blockages, we do kriya. So in Hatha Yoga, there are 6 particular practices. Shat means 6. Karma or kriya means actions. So we will be doing 6 actions. All these 6 actions are called Shat Karmas. When a person or when a yogi or when a sadhaka does these 6 practices, undergoes sadhana of these 6, all these 3 doshas will be balanced. Once if these 3 doshas are balanced, again no need to do Shat Karmas. Of course, we don't need, right? Because you go for a medication or you go near a doctor, you go undergo a treatment only when you have some kind of imbalance. You just simply go and take some medicine. Doctor, I need some, Dolo 650 or paracetamol or that painkiller, without having any kind of pains or any kind of fever. You don't take medication. The same way, when you don't have this tridosha imbalance, then there is no need to Shat Karmas. But in the era which we are living, the type of food we are having, the type of lifestyle we are following, yes, Shat Karmas are needed. This has to be noted. Then, what are these Shat Karmas? 6. Dhauti, Basti, Neti, Trataka, Nauli, and Kapalbhati. If it comes to top, Kapalbhati head. Trataka, it is of eyes. Then we have Neti, nasal. Then we have Dhauti, abdominal and oral. Then we have Nauli, abdominal, lower abdominal region, and Basti, lower part of your body where the Mooladhara chakra will be existing, like that. After Kapalabhati, Trataka, we have eyes. Then we have Neti, nose. Then we have Dhauti, abdominal region. Then we have Nauli, lower abdomen. Then in the last we have Basti. This is the sequence if we look at from the top to bottom, like that. First one, Dhauti. Dhauti means cleansing of your GID, majorly, gastrointestinal tract, from your oral till your anal. That is where it starts and it ends. So Dhauti has few more. In that we have Antardhauti, we have Danta Dhauti, we have hrid Dhauti, and the last one is Moola Shodhana. I will repeat it again. Antardhauti, Danta Dhauti, hrid Dhauti, and Moola Shodhana. So first one, Antardhauti. Again in Antardhauti, we have 4 practices. You can look on the screen. Vatsara, Varisara, Vahinisara, and Bahishkrita. So, in Vatsara we cleanse our abdominal region or GID through the air, where we slowly breathe in and expand our abdomen by breathing in the air, too much of air going inside, and we fill our abdomen till the air enters into your intestinal parts. So till that we'll be breathing. That's how we cleanse this. And ultimately through the anal region, it will be passing away. That is Vatsara. Then we have Varisara. In common era, Varisara is called as Shanka Prakshalana, Laghu Shanka Prakshalana, Dhirga Shanka Prakshalana. Laghu Shanka Prakshalana, in Varisara, Shanka Prakshalana, we drink too much amount of water. In scripture, they say minimum 16 glasses of water. In general, we can say beginners can start with 2 full water bottles. They can start. They will drink and they will release the water through the anal region. You'll drink the water, salt water. You do some practices in between, twistings, if possible. Nauli is also fine. Then releasing the water through anal region, Shanka Prakshalana, where the whole GID from the mouth till your anal will be cleansed. Then we have Vahini Sara, one of the best practice a yogi sadhaka can do to generate heat also. Tapas, heat, purity, austerity. It will remove the negative or waste out of body, that heat. Agnisara Kriya, where a person breathes in fast and breathes out completely by adopting bandhas, sitting in a position. People may confuse it with Bhastrika, but no. Agnisara Kriya is initially you do with breathing and breathe out. But in the advanced level, you don't breathe in, you don't breathe out. You empty your abdomen, you empty your lungs, you fill it, you will completely remove everything. And there is no air left in your body. And you pull your abdomen inside. You pull your abdomen inside. Udhyana Bandha. And then you will be trying to exhale more. That is the advanced level of Vainisara, Agnisara Kriya. It is one of the wonderful technique to cleanse our body. Then Bahishkrita. Bahishkrita, in the name itself, Bahishkrita is removing out. So in Bahishkrita, you remove it out and you cleanse it. So according to the scriptures, what the sadhakas and yogis says, you are supposed to remove the rectum out and you are supposed to wash it and you have to send it back in. High level of advanced practice. Not at all possible by a common person. When you are a high level of sadhaka, you can remove your rectum out and you can cleanse it with the hands and you will send it back in. One of the wonderful practice, but which is not at all possible right now. If you want it to be possible, then you should go under guidance of a proper guru who had done it already. And you need to follow a set of wonderful guidelines to do these kind of practices. Then we'll shift to the next. Danta Dhauti. Danta means teeth. But here, our scripture says Danta man oral. We have Jihva, Karna, Kapalarandra, and Chakshu. Jihva means tongue cleansing. Karna means ear. There are a few set of practices to cleanse our ears. We have Kapalarandra, sinal holes in our body, our head. Chakshu, eyes. These all comes under Danta Dhauti, cleansing of these. Then we have hrid Dhauti. This you need to understand. For the YIC people, we focus mostly on Vaman Dhauti, Danda Dhauti, and Vastra Dhauti. I'm coming from down. Vamana, Kunjal, and Vyagra also we say. Vaman Dhauti is what we drink water and we throw them out. We put it out again. So Vamana Dhauti. Vamana Dhauti. Remember this. In this, we have two types. One, you drink water and you bring it out. And one, you eat food and you bring it out. Simple like Vamana, vomiting. So vomiting intentionally within your control is Vaman Dhauti. It's a cleansing technique. What happens in this technique? It cleanses our upper GIT tract from your mouth to your abdomen. It mostly cleanses our food pipe. Mostly cleanses our food pipe. Then you drink a good amount of saline water and then you vomit. When you vomit, this saline water helps to remove the unwanted particles which have been stuck through the all the way through your food pipe, esophagus. When you eat, there are a finger-like structures on the esophagus, food pipe, which sends the food and which catches the unwanted particles or some bacterial particles. So they will be stuck in this part. They will be stuck in this part. So now how can you cleanse it? By this practice, you drink water and you vomit it out. So the saline, always the saline salt has a quality of removing the upper layers. So it removes the mucosal layer in this practice. So that keeps your tract cleansed and ready for the next. Like that. In Kunjal, we have two types. Gajakarni we have, where a sadhaka drinks water, bends a little bit forward, without using the fingers or tickling their throat directly, they will puke the whole water out. Gajakarni, like an elephant. Then, for the beginners, to puke it out, it is not possible. So, we will use the fingers and we'll tickle here at the orifice of your throat. We'll tickle it so you get the vomiting sensation and you vomit all the water you drank. Vyagra, food. There is a type of food which you need to take, not whatever biryani or something you eat and you do this. No. There is a proper food which you are supposed to eat it, then you are supposed to vomit it. In ancient times, if the rajas or kings who knows that the food got poisoned, this is the technique can be given to them to avoid food poisoning. But for us, it is a type of cleansing technique and having good control over reflexes. And my experience, I'll tell you, I never used to fit for bus journey. Whenever I travel in a bus, I used to get vomiting and I never got a control. But when I started doing Vaman Dhauti, in my daily life, now I can freely travel in bus or car for longer time. That's how I got my reflexes. Then, this is Vamana. Then we have Danda. Danda, the name itself Danda means we are using kind of a stick, which is having a hollow. In ancient way, we use root of a banana. Internally, we use the internal stem of banana. For Danda Dhauti Kriya, we send the Danda into our mouth. Same, first we drink the water, we send the Danda into our mouth, then they vomit it. Through the Danda, all the mucus comes out. Now, initially, we don't find that kind of banana internal stems. So, what we are using is rubber that is also not the chemicalized rubber. There is a different type of quality of rubber is being used by many yoga centers, and we will be inserting in it. Danda Dhauti is something you send a pipe into your body or your GID, upper GID tract, and you vomit through the danda. Then we have vastra, the ultimate major and advanced level in hrid Dhauti. So in vastra, we'll be using 24 feet or meter long cloth. It is of width of your one finger, you can say this much, or 4 inches, we can say this much width it will be there. You have to dip it in the water, soak it, and you're supposed to drink full of water, and you have to start eating it one after another, one after another, one after another. Slowly you're supposed to eat the cloth, and you have to gulp it in your abdomen. Here you have to control, and this practice should be done in half an hour only. You have to eat it, you have to do some abdominal practices, twist, or you can do Nauli. Nauli is the best one. Then in span of 20 minutes to half an hour, you eat and you bring it everything out. This will cleanse ultimately. Ultimately, it will cleanse your upper GID tract. This is vastra. Then we have Mula Shodhana, anal cleansing. So in traditional way, you can use your fingers. You have to insert into our anal region, and you have to rotate it clockwise, and you have to rotate it anti-clockwise few times. That's how you have to cleanse the anal region. Or else you can also use bamboo root to cleanse it. These are the techniques to cleanse our GID. Dhauti is to cleanse our gastrointestinal tract. Gastro means upper intestine, abdominal tract, where you eat the food and where you go defecate the waste, mala. So this we have to keep it cleansing. If this is cleansed, then you have a good amount of leading a proper sadhaka life. Then we have next practice. Our next practice is Basti. We have 2 types of Basti, Jala Basti and Sthala Basti. Kind of enema. In the modern age, it is called enema. We suck the air and we suck the air out through the anal. That is Sthala Basti, dry. And Jala Basti, the name itself, Jala, water. We will be in the base level of water, in a river, you bend, you will be in Utkatasana position, and you suck the water through the anal and you will release it through the anal. This is how you do it. In general, we are using now enema tubs and pipes, but this is how a yogi used to practice. Neti, nasal cleansing. We have 4 types, Sutra Neti, Jala Neti, Dugdha Neti, Ghrita Neti. Simple, we have a tract which connects our nasal to mouth. So in Sutra Neti, we send sutra, a catheter, through the nose and to your mouth, and we cleanses that tract from both the sides. Then we have Jala Neti. We send the lukewarm water through this nostril and bend to side, it comes out of the another nostril. In place of Jala, if you use milk, then it becomes Dugdha Neti. If you use ghee, it becomes Ghrita Neti. Simple. Cleansing of our nasal tract is this thing. Then we have Trataka. Antaranga Trataka, Bahiranga Trataka. 2 types. Trataka is one of the best practice which you can give for your eyes. I say those who are using specs, you keep it away and you practice Trataka. I will assure you regularly, if you practice it, your vision will increase and your sight, whatever PowerPoint you have, it will decrease. It is proven. You follow a proper lifestyle, you follow a proper food diet, and you practice this Trataka. I will write it down and I will give it to you. You will know, you will be in the no need of any kind of glasses. But there are a few contraindications, those who should do, those should not do. I will come to that. So Antaranga Trataka is internal focusing. Focusing internally. For example, you open your eyes, you look at the moon, you look at the moon, you look at the moon, then close your eyes and same focus on the moon. Focusing on one thing from internally, looking at one part. Then Bahiranga Trataka, we have a lot of techniques, eye movements, left and right. diagonal movements, rotations, opposite wise, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Then we can use Bhumadhya, Bhu. So using the thumb, Bhumadhya, up, down, sides, Vama, Dakshina, you can use all these things. And we have one more, the wonderful Trataka technique, Jyoti Trataka, comes under Bahiranga, where you lit a lamp in a lamp which is used with a cow ghee, cotton wick, and you will be focusing, where till you get tears in your eyes. It will cleanses your eyes and it will improve the focusing part, and it will improve concentration. It will also improve your vision power. That's how you cleanses your eye. Whenever you cleanse a part, it works more. Just like giving your bike or car to a service center, the same way we do it. Simple. Then we have Nauli. Nauli is a wonderful practice. There is a misconception that if you have six packs or tight abdomen, you cannot do. No, it might be hard, but if you go on practicing it, it can be done. So Nauli Kriya is a practice where you gain the control over your rectus abdominal muscles, your abdominal muscles. So you can move it towards your right, then it becomes Dakshina Nauli. If you move it towards your left, it becomes Vamana Nauli, Vama. Then we have one more, middle. Then it becomes Madhyama Nauli. The famous person who is famous for Nauli is Ramdev Baba. He does it openly. So you can get the knowledge of how a Nauli looks like. This is Nauli Kriya. Then we have Kapalbhati. A lot of
So in
people think
Kapalabhati-
Kapalbhati is a pranayama. We generally add it in pranayama because it deals with breath. But I will tell you that Kapalabhati is not just exhaling forcefully through the nose. Kapalabhati has way more level. The Kapalabhati, exhaling forcefully through your nose, is just one part. We have two more, Vyutkarma and Shatkarma. Vatakarma is the one which we practice in the form of pranayama. Vyutkarma and Shatkarma we have. Shatkarma, where we take water through the mouth and we throw the water, or we spit the water, we bring the water out through our nose. Shatkarma, you take the water through your mouth, you drink the water, keep it in your mouth, and you bend forward. You do a Jalandhar Bandha and you exhale it through your nose, the water comes out of your nose. If you remember, when you have sometimes sudden vomiting, sometimes that comes out of your nose, right? Some particles will come out of your nose. How? That track. Shatkarma is where you take the water through your mouth, you bring the water through your nose. And if you do the reverse process, taking the water through your nose and bringing it through your mouth is Vyutkrama. Reverse process. If you're drinking the water through mouth and bringing it out through your nose, it is Shatkarma. If you're taking the water through your nose and bringing it out through your mouth, then it becomes Vyutkarma. And when you go on exhaling,
So in
by
Kapalabhati-
flapping your abdomen in and out, that becomes Vatakarma. This is what Kapalabhati means. And the meaning of Kapalabhati, Kapala, head, Bhati, clonus. This name is called, when you do Kapalabhati, you get the shine over your face. It doesn't mean that cinema mein dikhata hai, in movies what they show, that jang or full shine. No. Tejassu. Manam antam kada, Mukha Tejassu ani. When you practice this, that will be there in your face when an opposite person watches, look at us. That is what Kapalabhati. Then we'll focus on precautions. These practices are very advanced practices. So then you should focus on what to do and what not to do. Remember, precautions. So we start from Shanka Prakshalana, LSP or DSP, Lagu Shanka Prakshalana or Diga Shanka Prakshalana, which we have. First thing, our abdomen should be empty. Early in the morning it has to be done, and abdomen should be empty. And soon after the practice, you should neither take bath or not sit anywhere under sun or too cold. Try to give time to your body to bring it back to normal position. When you do this practice, there will be some changes in your body. Then After the practice, the type of diet you take should be totally sattvic, a bland diet, a well-cooked diet, easily digestible, not too spicy, not too salty, all those things. You should not take these things. Better to go for khichdi, lentils, moong dal and rice khichdi, all these things you can take. You can go for constructive diet. And who should not do this practice? Those are having high BP, kidney issues, cardiac issues, or some kind of neurological issues like epilepsy. And if you're having piles, hemorrhoids, bleeding, then you should not practice. And from which age it should be done? Minimum age of 15 years. Then at the time of pregnancy, you should avoid it. The benefits, it always cleanses your abdominal tract and any kind of digestive system related disorders. It will be removing it. And once your digestive system is healthy, a lot of diseases will be kept away from your body. These are the benefits of Shankha Prakshalana. So now the next practice we are having Vaman Dhauti. Same, what all the precautions you have to follow is having an empty stomach and should take a light meal in the previous night. So not having too heavy food in the night, having a very light meal. So that will help for the practice sadhana. So those who have to avoid is for Vaman Dhauti. Remember, these are the points which you should know. When you become an instructor, you should know who can do, who cannot, because you are going to be a teacher of yoga and you should be aware of your students' situation or their position, how they are in. So if they are having these kind of health issues, then you should not teach them, or you should teach them in a different way. So for Vaman Dhauti, those are having high BP, those are having peptic ulcers, APD, those are undergoing APD or any ulcers in their abdomen, they should avoid. And cardiac health issues, heart diseases, then they should avoid. When you do Vaman Dhauti, you will be getting cleansed by upper digestive tract, as I mentioned, your stomach, food pipe and your mouth. And when this thing happens, it also very useful for asthmatics. So those who are having bronchial asthma or any kind of asthma, for them Vaman Dhauti is good. And of course, it enhances the digestive system. Cleansing regularly will keep your digestive system healthy. And next practice we have Neti. In Neti, while if you're having chronic nasal bleeding, those who have again and again nasal bleeding, those who get too much of blood oftenly more in their nose, they should not do this practice. And the best time to do this practice is early in the morning. And make sure the water is not too hot. It should be bearable. So whenever you go, before just pour a little bit on your upper part of your palm or hand, so that you will know the heat. Then you should use it. And the benefits will be this, that the tissue lining, the internal nasal tract will be cleansed. And you will, with using of the warm water, it opens the muscles and it clears the nasal passages and sinus. And also removes the unwanted particles, that which catches the germs and other particles. It enhances that layer. Then we have Sutra Neti. Same way, instead of water, we use Sutra. And when you are using the Sutra, don't insert fastly. If it is not going, don't push it inside like that. Gently and very carefully, slowly, you lift your chin up, then slowly you find the way you roll, you find the way you slowly insert. And when you feel tickling sensation in your throat, you bring it out and you cleanse it. And make sure in this age, we will be using this rubber catheter. So always make sure that it is sterile. Put it in hot salt water before using it. And then you use it. And those who should avoid it, same, chronic nasal bleeding issues or serious nasal spasm or any lining issues if you are having then. But the benefits is, the major benefit I'll tell you, deviated nasal septum. They say the unwanted muscle will be there here, grown, so I can't do it. No, there is a misconception that those who are having this deviated nasal septum cannot do. But if you practice this, the deviated nasal septum will be gone. It will be gone. The path will be cleared doing this. And it also desensitizes your nasal cavity a lot. Whatever you put, you get a sneeze. That means how sensitive it is. But doing this practice, the sensitivity level will be reduced. Okay, and it increases the blood supply to the nostrils. Okay, and it massages and strengthens your mucous membrane, the internal layers of your nasal cavity. Good. These are the benefits. Then we have next Nauli. So when you are undergoing abdominal pain, you should not do this. Any kind of abdominal pain or abdominal issues and abdominal surgery, you should not do. Okay, you should stop the practice. Don't do it. Relax. And of course, empty stomach. You should do this practice with empty stomach. Then who should avoid? Those are with high BP, those are with cardiac issues, those who are just underwent 6 months, minimum 6 months of abdominal surgery. And if you're having peptic ulcers, because of ulcers, if you do any kind of movements, they will burst inside. Again, that will form internal hemorrhages. Then at the pregnancy, of course, you should avoid. Minimum 6 months you have to wait after pregnancy. Then at the time of menses, for female, if they are in the menstrual cycle, you should avoid it. These are the contraindications. Then the benefits, wonderful benefits. If you look at the spiritual side, it helps in awakening the chakras, because gaining the control of your abdomen is a different thing. Manipura chakra that would exist at your navel, it helps in awakening these chakras. And also psychic centers. Psychic centers mane chakras, but major chakras are these. We have 7, but there are lakhs of chakras in our body. But doing Nauli, it helps in Kundalini practices. Then your abdominal muscles will become very strong and healthy. So risk of hernia of your abdominal issues will be less. Then bowel function will be improved. So a lot of people facing these kind of health issues, even you go for morning for bowel, you clear your bowel, you come out, after some time, again you get a feeling of going for washroom. Again you want to bowel. IBD or IBS, irritable bowel syndrome or bowel disorder. That thing, it helps for that. Constipational issues, malabaddhakamu, adi kuda undadu. That will be also be gone. Then it energizes the pancreas, insulin secretes. So indirectly, it is a best practice for diabetes, because doing this massaging our abdomen by gaining the control, you will prevent diabetes. And if you are already diabetic, it will help of gaining more level of insulin secretion. So that which will resist the diabetes issue. In the final point, you can see it plays an important, significant role of Manipura chakra, because this practice is for Manipura chakra also. Then we have now Trataka. So in Trataka, if you are undergoing Jyoti Trataka, the Jyoti should be stable. So don't do it in open places. It should be in a closed environment. Ventilation should be needed, but not where the full air comes. So it will be disturbed and your focus will be disturbed. It will lead to headache. So the flame should not be flickering. It should be fixed like that. And while doing the practice, you should avoid spectacles, glasses. And those are having glaucoma, those are having epilepsy, and those are with migraine, should avoid this practice. If you're having severe headache issues, migraine health issues, you should avoid. Okay. And why glaucoma? Glaucoma, because the glaucoma already, the person who is under glaucoma will have this pressure in their eyes. Go on intense focusing, that will increase this pressure. That's why a glaucoma, avoid the practice. Or Jyoti Trataka. These movements. But Jyoti Trataka, that person has to avoid. What are the benefits? It removes your defects in the eyes. Any kind of, not retinal, but any kind of vision issues or any kind of layer issues like cataract or like myopia, hyperopia or myopia, these kind of issues, it will be releasing. And divine vision is created. It is a spiritual. Divine vision mane divya drishti, you can say. So they say, the scripture says, when you practice this in a high level, when you master this practice, you will gain the power of divine vision, divya drishti. Siddhi of Shambhavi is achieved. Shambhavi mudra, where you see in your bhrumadhya, that means between your eyebrows. When you look it like this, when you master this, you will gain the power, siddhi, the powers of Shambhavi. And this vision, when you are focusing on that particular part, it is directly linked to your conscious state. Why? You will not be flickered anywhere. It can be also a good meditational technique, we can say. In that form, you can use. When it stabilizes your eyes during Trataka, helps in chitta steady. Chitta means thought, mind transformations. All the vrittis will be avoided and your chitta will be steady. Your mind will be focused. That's how it helps. Improves one-pointed awareness. Ekagratha sthiti. It improves ekagratha sthiti. Remember, and that is what we needed in a meditation. Ekagratha sthiti will be improved and helps in short-sighted and long-sighted awareness. Though the people who is having long sight, short sight, we generally say it helps in them. These are the benefits of Trataka. So we have covered the major, what you needed for YAC, all the things. These are the major parts of kriyas which you need to focus. For YAC, focus on Neti and Vaman Dhauti. As an instructor, you practice them, you undergo a good experience, then you teach, you go out and teach. I will tell you, certificate is just a piece of paper, but that piece of paper, that certificate will give you a level in society where you will be considered as yoga guru or yoga teacher, yoga instructor. That means you should do the practice first, adhyayan, and then adhyapan. You learn, you do, you experience, then you teach. So furtherly, you will be going into practicals, where I will be teaching you all these things, what all needed for YAC level. See, when you go for higher studies in yoga, then you will reach the more practices. When you go into higher level of like degree, bachelor's or like masters, then you will be taught Danta, you'll be taught vastra, all these things. And when you go into sadhana, a proper sadhaka level, then you will be taught various like, Mula Shodhana, all these practices, advanced level of kriyas. So basic glimpse, Shat Kriyas, cleansing techniques. You have each and every part of your body to cleanse. So one practice will cleanse one region of your body. And the major is abdominal. A lot of diseases starts from your abdominal region. That means your digestive. Atijirnatvam, pujirnatvam, all these things. From there, the disease arises. So to avoid this, we have to cleanse our internal body. And this is the major reason why you should do kriyas. That is the first question in the session we started. Why? So this is the answer. Okay. Thank you. Namaste.